Welcome to the 2024 LOEG Super Bowl preview. And this year we have the great one, led by Bunny Escava. And he was 18-10 in the regular season. He actually scored almost 400 more points, including the playoffs and the regular season combined, versus Z-Wolves. Z-Wolves is 17-11 in the regular season. So let's get right to it. Z-Wolves pretty lucky that he was able to win his matchup this week, and he faced House of Fire, and they were winners of 13 in a row. They went up against Z-Wolves, and they were knocked out by Carlos. So Carlos, to note, does not have any money, spent all his fan money, cannot pick up anybody until Sunday, and only Sunday, for free on the day of the game. He can't pick up anyone else that plays Wednesday. There are a few games on Wednesday, also a bunch of games on Saturday. Cannot take any of them. They would all cost him $1, so he can't take them. He can only pick up Sunday players. So let's get down to the matchup and the comparisons of what we have here. And we have, to start off, Baker Mayfield. Great matchup at home against Carolina. Tampa Bay needs the game. They lost a week ago, and they really need the game this week. And they're playing against Lamar at Houston. So while he had a great season, he is actually second in total of the whole league. Only Barkley has more points scored overall than Lamar, and we're giving the edge to Lamar over here. Down to the running backs. And this is a bit of a problem for Carlos. He has Pacheco. So Pacheco supposedly is the number one back. He came back. He was injured for Kansas City. But as you see, with him, he's basically splitting time with Hunt. And I put Hunt down here. So last week, Hunt had, I think, 13 points. Pacheco had like 3 points. I don't see how you could start Hunt over Pacheco. But again, who knows what's going to happen with that. Hubbard has been on fire. There's nobody else on that team at all, basically, that can run. So I'm going to give the edge to Hubbard over here, only because I don't know what Pacheco's going to do. Next, we have Brown. Brown plays Denver. He's been great. Achane at Cleveland has also been great. It's very, very close. This over-under is 49.5. I would have to say this is a push. It's very, very tough to make the decision there. I'm leaning towards Achane because he catches the ball, but I don't think Cleveland's going to do much of anything offensively. So how much is Achane going to need to do? Who knows? I just don't see much happening with him. It could be a blowout. Who knows if he even plays the fourth quarter? So I'm just going to leave it as a push. Now we get to the receivers. Very interesting when it comes to the receivers. We have Evans, who I love. Everybody knows how much I really like that guy. He is fantastic. He does have the combo together right here with Mayfield, and Mayfield has been feeding Evans nonstop. Basically, there's no one else to throw to on that team. Brown had an okay season, nothing unbelievable. He has Hurts throwing to him. I don't know what the question mark we have on Hurts is. Concussion last week, came out of the game. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to give the edge here to Evans. Next, we have Lamb. Lamb versus Samuel. He does play Detroit in the highest point total of the week. He's been terrible. I'm giving the edge to Lamb. Dallas, by the way, has been playing much better lately. I don't know, for some reason, whenever they don't need to win, they find a way to win. So I'm going to give the edge to Lamb over here. This is a big edge here. So you have Nico Collins. Tank Dell is out. Playing Baltimore, who gives up tons of points in a high-scoring game. This is probably the biggest edge I see so far, and it's going to go here. I'll even put 2 checks next to Collins over here. Next, we have tight ends. Smith has been great, again, against Cleveland. I don't know how much he's going to do. He's been very, very good. Against the Jets, he had no points till overtime. Andrews and Lamar have been hooking up a lot lately. I'm going to give the edge to Andrews. And again, you have this very big connection right there. If this does not happen, Carlos will not win. He won't have a chance. So this has to happen. I think it will happen. And I'm going to give the edge to Andrews. Here we get to probably the biggest mismatch on the whole board. Actually, this was a big one here. This is huge over here. So Hurts would really be on the top. He would still lose to Lamar, I feel, but be very close. But he has a concussion, so Bunny has put him down there. I don't know if he's going to play or not. Wilson is horrific. I don't like him at all. Carlos didn't even like him last week. He didn't even start him last week. He started Penix last week. So he has him here now. I'm going to guess that he plays. If he doesn't play, maybe he brings up Charbonnet. Either way, it's still better than Wilson, so I'm giving him the edge right there. By the way, speaking of Charbonnet, he plays at Chicago. Kenneth Walker is out. Charbonnet is also a little bit injured and may play. Seattle needs the game, so I'm going to give this flex position a check mark. Kickers. I checked the weather in Pittsburgh. The weather is fine. It's like 3-mile-per-hour winds. They play tomorrow. Kansas City at Pittsburgh. I still like this much better. Again, McLaughlin has been great. Bunny's been riding him. They will score against Carolina. I'm going to give the edge here. Defense. This really should have been a much bigger edge for Bunny. You have the Eagles here. Now, again, I don't know what the story is with Hurts. The Cowboys have been playing much better. They're trying to score. They have Dowdle. They have Lamb. Rush is playing better. So I thought this would be a much bigger edge. I'm still going to give them the edge. It's not as big as I thought it would be. The Raiders are playing New Orleans, who got shut out 34-0 against the Packers. They're not the Packers. I realize that. But they are very, very bad. They're playing terribly. They're missing Olave. They're missing Kamara. They're missing Carr. There's probably others that I'm leaving out, and they're just not doing anything. I'm still going to give them the edge. It's not as big as edge that I would have given him since the Cowboys are playing a lot better, but he gets the edge here. So as you can see already, it's about 6-4, even with the double checks here. So there's a big edge to Bunny. Looking at the bench, so this is my advice. Bunny could basically take anyone he wants to pick up from that are free agents. I listed a few. I'm going to go through them. Bunny does not need Taylor. He's no longer the running back. No interest in him on San Francisco. He doesn't need Judy at all because Winston doesn't even play anymore. He does nothing. He doesn't need Coleman because basically he's got his wide receiver set and he's maybe the second or third receiver on Buffalo. He had one catch a week or two ago. The Vikings play Green Bay. Waste of time. You can get rid of them. Those 4 players should be off the team tonight. Let's go to this side. Now again, Carlos can't pick up anyone anyway until Sunday. Keep that in mind. But cut them, pick up players, and then you could cut these players, or 1 or 2 of them, on Saturday night, still pick up a player, leaving them out of Carlos's way, and he'll have no one to pick. So these are the plays. I'm going to go through them. There's some very good ones on here. So there are 2 quarterbacks playing against each other in this Tennessee-Jacksonville game. Rudolph and Mac Jones. He's been great the last 2 weeks, and Mac Jones has been good the last few weeks. I would not leave those there because I think either of them are better than Wilson. So I would not leave those guys there. Spears, let's talk about him. Carlos has Pacheco, who's basically, like I said, splitting. If Pollard is out, Spears I would use for sure over Pacheco. He had 2 touchdowns last week. He catches the ball at least 4 or 5 catches a week, and he also runs the ball if Pollard's not there. So someone to think about. James Conner hurt his knee last week. Benson is also here, who George loved, and Benson is here as well. So again, would I leave him? I don't know if I'd leave him. I don't love his matchup at the Rams, but if you want to take him just to take him, you could take him. This is a huge player here. That, I think, is probably the best one on the board, just to show you what he's been doing with Rudolph. So he's this connection, by the way. He has 17 receptions over the last 2 games. The next player on his team is Ridley with 6, not including Spears, who I said catches the ball as well. So just speaking about wide receivers or tight ends and receivers, he's got 17 receptions in 2 weeks. He's got 6, Ridley. Next on the team with 6. Do not leave him here at all. If I was Carlos and I could get him or him or him I would put him in for him, for sure. If Spears, again, if Pollard is out, he would go in for him. So, or even him, right there. So, very easy for a bunny. Carlos decided to have no money whatsoever. Take them all. Don't leave them there. They're going to put up points, and you just can't leave them on the board. So that being said, the prediction for the finals and the next champion will be the great one. With the edge in players, if Hurts plays, forget it completely. I do understand Lamar could go crazy. I do understand Nico Collins. This is the game. The Baltimore-Houston game is basically it for Carlos right there. But Wilson, not great. Pacheco, not great. If he's splitting with Hunt. Achane, who knows what he does, like I said, against Cleveland in a game that could be over in the first half. So there you have it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to let me do the Super Bowl preview, as always. And thank you to the cameraman, our very own Morris Sutton, for doing his annual duty. And good luck to the teams.